So, last day of the first week. It was an absolutely brilliant day today. I really enjoyed myself. It was so hot as well. We did some qual data in the morning, which was great. We did an interview with Jay, who's a youth worker with an LGB centre in Leith. And we just went for a coffee in the sun with him and spoke to him about potential knife crime contacts, potential CSE contacts. It was mostly not to ask him a series of questions, but more to just kind of find out what contacts he had, which I thought might come across as a little bit rude, but actually they do it all the time. So that's something I've learned. So yeah, it was just a really nice chat with him. It was nice to see Claire kind of relaxing a bit as well and not being all professional and, well, obviously professional, but just relax a little bit. He was really helpful, and we ended up talking to him about his future plans. He wants to go back and become a teacher and all of this stuff, but it was really shocking, some of the things that he was saying. Like, for example, he was at a school the other day where a primary four student was in trouble for sending inappropriate pictures to a primary 7. Primary 4 and primary 7. Just absolute madness. I'm so glad that I'm not a child in this day and age. It's crazy and horrendous. But anyway, he asked if we could transcribe the interview that we had with him today, and if we could drop a copy of the No Knives Better Lives DVD round to him by this Wednesday, as well as kind of questions from interviews into a survey that he can give to kids at schools, or give to kids at schools that he knows. So on the way back from our meeting with him, I suggested to Claire that I do that, and she seemed really chuffed that I would offer. Don't know why that's exactly the kind of thing an intern should be doing, but I'm glad I asked. So when I got back, we went very quickly to brief some creatives about a Zero Waste Scotland brief, which again, I've never been into a meeting like this before, and it was absolutely amazing, really great. I didn't realise that all members of the different departments would have the same opportunities to come up with ideas. So it was myself, Claire the planner, Wendy the account manager, and 2 creatives, an art director and a copywriter, and we were just going over the brief that we'd been given, me and Claire, the planners, and then speaking to them about what Zero Waste Scotland wants, and then Wendy was talking about the costings and potential people that she could put them in touch with, depending on what the idea was. And I felt confident enough to put across a few of my ideas as well, which was really nice. I'm glad that I felt I could. And they seemed really chuffed and asked me to think on and send them a document by the end of the week with some more ideas. So that was great. It's interesting as well, something that Fiona Burton, the account director, said to me earlier on in the week. She was saying that when you're in accounts, by the time you kind of reach the top of the jobs you can get in accounts, you almost start doing planning because you know everybody so well that you obviously have the experience of things that you've done for them before, that actually you do end up doing planning. And I've been noticing that the accounts people are doing a lot more. The planning folk do a lot of research, obviously, they go to a lot of meetings with people and clients to find out what they want and conduct, qual research and quant as well, although that's not the route that I'd want to go down. But actually I'm starting to think that maybe it is accounts that I would be better at. There's more face-to-face and chatting, negotiating, and there's also a research part to it as well. So yeah, she kind of changed my view on it, and especially in that meeting, the Zero Waste Scotland meeting, what Wendy was doing seemed to me to be more what I would like to be doing. But obviously I will think on and see what happens. So after that, we had a quick meeting with Leona about this Greener initiative, which was quite interesting. It was a lot of stuff that I didn't really understand about energy efficiency and lots of stats, and obviously I hadn't been briefed on what we were actually going to be talking about, so I didn't really know much of the jargon, but they did say to ask if I had any questions about what was going on, and I did, so I found out what was happening, and I think they were quite happy that I'd done so. So yeah, they have asked me to do some work on that, just to find out some statistics about it, any new surveys, and a few articles that they've told me what they want, like the articles, what is in the articles, but not the names of them. So it was an afternoon of a lot of wordy Google questions. We got some good things in the end, and hopefully by Tuesday, I think they said they want it, I will have that for them. So that's good. And yeah, I spoke to Claire today about the possibility of going to some more meetings with her and doing a bit more qualitative research for the dissertation and just for myself to make sure that's kind of what I want to be doing. And she said that that was absolutely fine. The only problem was she didn't actually have anything in the next week, in her diary for me to do, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm going to be going to Dundee, which will be really good. Do some creative testing for a new country roads campaign. So that will hopefully provide quite a lot of a basis for the dissertation. And yeah, after that I did some transcribing for Michael again. It was really, really hard, like a really hard Glaswegian accent that at the best of times I don't understand. So I've made a bit of headway with that. And we'll see what happens there. Hopefully I'll be able to get everything. If not, I'm going to have to ask friends, boyfriend, parents to try and transcribe the bits that I don't understand for me, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, it was the Leith Links. Every Friday they have drinks on the links, which is a green carpeted bit of the room with a table where they bring in Prosecco and beers, and when people finished work they have a drink and a chat. Unfortunately I had to leave early today because I'm about to head out. And I left at 5:30 on the dot. I did ask Claire if that would be okay, and again she seemed really surprised that I'd even ask, but I'm glad that it wasn't a definite no, you should be working harder. And hopefully I will be able to take part in the Leith on the Links next week, and get to chat to people out with a kind of worky context a bit more. So that was today, end of week 1, really good. Hopefully next week will be just as good. Happy weekend.